Is there anything we can do to fix it?
No! The birds are back to attack us!
Nothing new.
Success, Birdemic 3, see Ego. Hey, success.
Cheers.
World premiere.
World premiere.
Fantastic Fest 2022.
Cheers.
Woo!
Cheers.
We need a lot of electricity, tonight,
Yeah.
Salute.
Salute.
As Ric Flair would say,
Whoa!
all right, everybody, we're here for Birdemic 3.
Woo!
We made it.
Three.
Yeah.
It's the new claw signature. Three, okay, guys? Three, okay.
I'm here with the legendary Intercontinental Champion cast and director. We're going to talk all about this movie, but first, like in The Sound of Music, we have to start at the very beginning. Thank you. So for everybody, I'll start with you. Where did it all begin with you in film and acting? Was it something you saw on your parents' television, a show? Where did it all begin?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't even know, honestly. I know I've always wanted to do it since I was like 16. I don't know if there was really anybody that really influenced me. Actually, I would say Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Tom Cruise, yeah, I really like Tom Cruise. I think he's a great actor. A little crazy, but all the crazy ones are the best actors. But yeah, I guess he would be my biggest influence.
Which movie specifically, younger?
At 16, I don't even remember. I would say Mission Impossible, but I don't know if that was out by when I was 16. Yeah, I guess Mission Impossible, yeah.
All right, awesome. What about you? What sparked you into this world of cinema?
Well, it
Hitchcock.
it happened by accident.
Yeah.
Even before Hitchcock, it happened by accident. You asked me, like in the earlier before I came to I was going to be a filmmaker. I thought you would be crazy, but it happened by accident. I remember the .com era, like 1999, 2000. Well, I was a computer developer. I have a science degree, but I always loved the movies, and on the early film I loved to watch the romance, like Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. And I saw some Hitchcock movie too, the first time I saw Vertigo was an afternoon TV movie, and The Birds and all that, but it was just an entertainment. I was not in the business, okay? Mm-hmm. Then the .com era came, with all the .com, and I found this startup called MovieHead.com. We were the first Netflix. We were streaming movies in 1999, 2000. So streaming is everything right now, with Netflix and everybody. Right. It's in the streaming game now, but we were the first with dial-up, and we were early. So I was showing Hitchcock film, his early film, black and white, public domain. The Man Who Knew Too Much, the first version, yes. And a few others, and that's the first time I noticed Hitchcock in a serious way, Then the startup and all this film, and I fell in love with the business. But that was the good thing, the fun, the MovieHead.com. But the bad thing is that all the .com bust. Remember 2001? I was part of that, and I raised $500,000 and it went bust. Okay, and so I didn't have no more money, but I didn't want to give up the movie business, so I became a filmmaker.
Okay. Yeah.
During the whole process, okay, and my first film was called Julie and Jack. It was a romance thriller, okay, and it has Miss Tippi Hedren. She's an original bird, as the cameo. So that was my first film, and so that and Replica second, and 8 years later on to 2009, 10, then Birdemic.
Yes.
So that's how I got into the whole movie.
That's how you got in.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Hitchcock and.
Yeah.
What about you?
If I'm gonna be honest, it was Hannah Montana.
That's awesome.
I liked acting since I was little. I used to do like school theater stuff when I was like 7, 8 is kind of when I started. And then I watched Hannah Montana. I was like, oh my god! And so my dad got me my own little video camera, and I bought like a little wig, and I would make my own like Hannah Montana episodes on iMovie, and that was like the highlight of my childhood. I love that show.
Excellent.
Honestly, it started behind the camera for me. I have a production in Oregon, and I was always just the camera guy and the director, and then I just saw everybody having such a good time. Like they were just being able to act and be just so creative and do that side of it. That really brought me straight into it, and then I got this opportunity with Birdemic, and yeah, it's been fantastic.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
You know?
Usually, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm glad that I get to see both sides of it, but I'd say I like the acting position a lot more than the directing. A lot less stressful.
A lot less stress,
Yeah,
right?
James that's a lot of stuff to handle all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time. I'm just behind the camera.
Yeah, making a movie is fun, but it's stressful. You know,
Stressful,
especially when
yeah.
you have a lot of money on the line and the person is seeing people are going to show up, money's being paid left and right, and if things go wrong, it's out the door. You know, I mean that's why $1 million picture Hollywood style they have insurance.
Right.
Every day that you're in production, you're going to lose hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why it's very stressful.
No, I imagine. And what about you? How do you get into
Yeah.
music and film?
My mom was a gospel singer,
Uh-huh.
and growing up as a little kid, I would see her on stage, and then I just told her I would like to do what she does.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and then Patsy Van Anninger, the one who was in our first movie with Birdemic, she passed away, but she was auditioning for Birdemic, and I remember she was going up to San Francisco to audition with James, and she said, "Come with me," and I'm like, "For?" Because I'm a singer, I'm not an actor. So she said, "You can audition, you can do this," and so and I met James. And
Yeah, I remember that way back, and then when Mr. Damien Carter show up in that scene, the first, at the Happy Bay pub, at the Cameron's Happy Bay pub, and we just did it, with Alan and Whitney and.
yeah,
And so the first time I heard that song, just hanging out, I thought it sounds good, It was there already, the song was there already, and I just let's do it with that song, And I didn't know that it was became a hit song for the film, But it was,
remember I was Father Love for your first movie.
yeah, I mean, it's like that.
So it was
So
wonderful.
I just have a knack, for just experience, music, okay? Just out there, I know good music, like in Birdemic 3, with the opening score, Smile. It was never released, Smile, it was sang by local, Jackie Benson, she's bigger, It's a song that she licensed her, but it was never released. So it came from, I placed an ad on the Craigslist of the music, I need a music composed, write the name, and this guy, Elam Herman, and he gave me his sample, and one of the songs was this song, Smile, okay? When you see the movie, then you know what I mean, and it just hits me, Smile. By chance, this festival, they have a Hollywood film called Smile. It's just kind of like coincidence. It's a Fantastic Fest 2020 with Smile, with the theme of Smile, Smile. And Birdemic with 3,
Smile.
the movie opens with Smile, the song Smile, so it just should be a theme. Smile,
meant to be,
meant to be, it's destiny, fate, manifest, whatever you want to say. Then, so I picked it, and it was not easy for me to license it, Then I commissioned the Cosmic Beauty song that was based on the original, based on the short I did called Cosmic Beauty, and so he sings it, but it was an original song that's written by 3 others, University of Santa Cruz student, music major. So it's an original song that's being submitted to the Academy Award for consideration for Best Original Song, okay? And so, like that. Then I got lucky again. Jackie, by the way, because I was going through her album. It's on Apple Music, right? This song just hits me, make me feel, she's, you heard Jackie Benson, right?
Yes,
She's lower, she's bigger,
Yes.
That song just hit me. I say, well, what if
It's a great song.
I sing it, if I put it on a romance sing, I say, wow, it works, then I licensed it, it worked out, and now we have 3 great songs in the film. Smile, it's opening, right? And another version of it, of Smile, written by Chris Dale. It's the same song, same lyric, but it's more dancing. I put it in the dancing. Okay, so Smile, then we have Cosmic Beauty, then we have Make Me Feel. So I think I think the Birdemic, one reason why Birdemic would be a success, it has the best music of all the three.
Okay.
Because the first one, it's just hanging out, which is great.
And I told him I sing that song like I'm with my mailbox.
Oh,
It's
really?
like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
always
Hanging
sticking in
like
my head.
yeah.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, that's how I know it's catchy.
Yeah, that's sketchy, yeah.
So I agree with you. So now I've got to ask, all of your movies
Sure.
tend to take this environmental,
Yes.
proactive stance. Since 2010 till now, how
Yes.
do you think all of that has influenced each film?
Oh, it's the main one of the main reason why I did the third one
Mhm.
because right now everything in Birdemic 1
Mhm.
they raised the alarm with global warming. It's happening now. It's in your face. We have right now a climate emergency. It's a crisis that we either fix it or it means extinction. That's where it's heading. And we have the solution right now. The problem right now is that since the Industrial Revolution, over 100 years, there's 1.6 trillion ton of CO2 that we release.
Mhm.
And we got to remove it. And we have the technology, technology to fix it, carbon removal technology, this startup called Climate, working a bunch of other. I'm from Silicon Valley, We can remove it, and it will cost $1 trillion. It will take the collaboration of our nation, policy to fix it. Mitigation, what we're doing right now in terms of reducing CO2 and electric car and all that. That's great, but it's not going to fix it. Even with net zero, we have to remove it up there.
Right.
And if we do that, yes, the temperature will go back down to normal again, like the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Holocene, the Garden of Eden, like what we all used to grown up,
Right.
And we're not doing any of that. And that's the theme I try to put in Birdemic 3.
Right.
Is that it's not just entertaining thing, but you're living it. I mean, the extreme heat, the weather, the drought, people are dying. It's happening as we talk right here.
Yeah.
It's no longer a movie.
Right.
No,
You're bringing it to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
You are, and I've got to ask, over 13 years, what have you learned about your character over the 13 years, and how has he grown? Because I'm very impressed. You got this MBA and everything. How has this all taught you about this iconic character you play?
Let's see, about Rod. I don't know. I guess from the first movie to the end, I guess you see him get much more mature. Like he's a software salesman, and my character is a little bit awkward, right? And then maybe toward the third one, he's a little more mature. He owns a green tech company, right? And I don't know, I just say he's more mature. I don't know.
Well, just your skills as an actor have progressed so largely within the last 13 years. So, just your presence on screen is just...
Yeah, that's more experienced actor.
Yeah.
Right, because it's like from Birdemic and now Parks and Rec and Boba Fett and like that's impressive.
What hasn't he done now?
Been working hard.
No, it's excellent. So now I've got to ask. We talked a little bit before about the guerrilla budgets and everything,
Yeah.
and some people in some movies would think a small budget is a constraint, but with Birdemic, you embrace that and have fun with it. Talk to me about embracing, in the fun, creative styles creative choices you make for Birdemic.
Well, to me, it's not embrace. You just have to work what you have. Okay, and the thing here is we're sitting here from, this is the third one. Okay, and there was somebody, an executive producer. It had 10 times the budget of the first one.
Okay.
But if I had a choice, I wanted, a budget, a proper budget, with the crew and it's just like a Hollywood production. Like anybody, But I didn't have that. So you're limited. You're forced into a situation, okay, and yes, sometime when like that line scene in Sunset Boulevard, with the screenwriter near the opening of Sunset Boulevard, where the screenwriter's broke, and he and the car possessor is coming up with his car, the scene, and he needs a loan from his agent, he needs like a $35 loan, and instead the agent gave him the money, he said, sometimes some of the best writing is done on an empty stomach. Okay, so when you're making a movie with limited budget like that, it's like that,
Right.
and sometimes the best scene, the best done when it's done with very little or no money at all.
Right.
And yeah, you're in that situation, and that happened with Birdemic 1, even Birdemic 3, you know, where a situation where you just do what you have.
Yeah.
And sometimes you things come out great.
Right.
You know, yes.
Well, that's good. And so now I want to ask a question for everybody. Since, I mean, Birdemic trilogy now, like, holy shit, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many great elements. What are the elements do each of you think that Birdemic keeps bringing this ravenous audience back to clamor for more?
Damien, you want to start?
The music,
They
man.
just want to
loaded
hang
question.
out with the family,
Yeah,
right?
family, yeah.
I believe the birds want to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think it's the cult following. It's the family. They love James. They love what he's producing. They love what he's putting out. He brings all these great people, obviously amazing people, together to brings them together and to make these amazing things, even with the restraints that we were just talking about. I mean, it's not like something that you're gonna go like the big Hollywood budget movies that we go and watch. Like, yeah, you're gonna expect greatness, you're gonna expect all these things, but for these, it's like the actual community, real people coming together to make them, and I think that's what people love about it. Just because it's actually feels like a family situation, not like
Because it's almost like one of those things that you might see on a shirt, like, you know, if you know, you know, and the picture of Birdemic, and you're like, we're instantly friends.
Yeah.
Right.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the same thing?
I would say, honestly, it's the stories, because like the whole process of production was a journey, and there are just like endless amounts of stories that came out of that, and I think people are probably pretty curious to hear how that happened, because the end result is very unique, and so you're like, well, how do we get from point A to point B? And it's quite a story.
Yeah.
Steps.
A lot of steps.
Yeah, I don't think they know the whole story plot, because we're just shooting scene one after the next. You know, it's not like it's a 90-page script. They know from A to Z. You know.
We had no idea.
Yeah,
Because-
we never got the whole story.
Because for this
Yeah.
one, for whatever reason, I wrote it on the fly. I was whatever the reason, each one I should have got a 90-page script, but it didn't happen that way. I just wrote, I just did it on the fly
Couple pages
for
here
one
and
week
there.
to see, and I made it up. Okay, but sometimes it turned out it turned out well. You know, I mean, great. And
He'd send it to us like the night before.
Yeah.
Here it is. And we're like, okay.
yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I personally think that why people like love Birdemic is I think it's that I think the romance and the story, but this thing called climate change, it's harming a lot of it's a emergency, and people I think a lot of people just basically they don't want it's nice to watch a doc and see about the harm but they're not persuaded, and they want to be persuaded more of an entertaining way, in a movie. And slowly, maybe my hope is that eventually, when people will watch this, that the policy people, the government, that they will move toward fixing it instead of more research, more just doing the stuff where that in the end it's not going to fix it. That the theme of Birdemic 3 and beyond, is to try to show that it can be fixed.
Yeah.
And I think that when people watching it, they laugh, they entertain, they know there's a problem, but there's hope. They see there's hope to do this. Instead of, that's actually in the film, there's a character, Dr. Extinction.
Yeah.
It's based on a real person, the real Dr. Extinction, and I put him in there, even in his opinion in the end, but I want to, just an opinion. I want to show that there's a character where Elon Musk, wait, man, I want to have this. We're gonna fix it, man. My building.
Right.
And there's this character with Dr. Extinction, man. We're gonna be dead, all dead, So I mix it up, but there's hope. I want to create a sense that there's hope for the future. That we're not doomed the next 10 years or beyond, that we don't fix this thing.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason why people like it, because there's hope instead of just another talk, another just kind of research talk. Feel good. Every year they go to this climate change conference, set up policy, this target and that, and nothing happens. That planet still heat up like crazy. Everybody complains, And every 12 months, the same thing happens again. You
Right.
know, so what are we gonna do to fix it? You know? Yeah.
Keep making Birdemic movies.
Yeah, I mean,
Tell
I think
them.
I mean, just
Tell them. What about you?
I don't know how to follow all of that. That's still my answer. Well, I would say, you know, definitely the birds, right? The animated birds. Characters, I always think, for me in film, characters do make the film as well, right? Different type of characters. All the Birdemic series usually have an interesting character that pops up. The storyline, of course. And then I would say, you know, Rod makes the movie as well.
I like that movie, yeah. Without Rod,
Humble
there's
as
no
always.
movie.
No, it is
Humble
good.
as always.
Obviously, you're all cinematic aficionados.
Yeah.
Are there any particular scenes or one particular scene in a movie that has always stuck with you that's helped shape your creative life?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna be generic as heck. The Wolf of Wall Street scene
course.
where
My mind is go right now. I'm
exactly,
excited.
yeah. And when he is talking to his team, he is about to be thrown in prison. Like he knows his whole life is going to be destroyed. Yet he's motivating this gigantic sales force to go out and do it. Go out and get it done. Don't let them take it from you.
Okay.
And it's just like that motivation. That definitely lives throughout my life. As you know, don't quit. Keep going.
All right. All right.
I would say there's a film that I really, really enjoy. It's one of my favorite films is Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yes.
And like I said, with characters, right? What's inspirational about them is that, you know, Dr. Hannibal is a sophisticated killer type, and then Jodie Foster is like this really innocent girl, but she's kind of tough. But you know, just how they are opposites, but they kind of play with each other, and I kind of like that. And that's something I kind of strive to do as an actor as well.
Cool. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. For me, it's actually mentioned in the film Birdemic 3. Birdemic, part of the scene in Birdemic was we shot it at the old Mission San Juan
I
Bautista.
remember. Yeah.
It's in Vertigo, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
In Vertigo, my favorite scene in Vertigo, just like the script line, is when Scotty stalks Judy, you know, to the Empire Hotel. It still exists now in San Francisco. And he walks up to a door and they knock, and they start doing their dialogue. You know, to me, it's so romantic. You know,
Yes.
you know, follow me all the way to the hotel. How dare you? You know, she's Judy now, and I mean, it's to me. I watch that scene almost every week. I don't know why. You know, I once in a while I watch the whole film, but that scene always gets me. You know, I mean,
Right.
it's just so romantic. You know, it's
Yes.
that she, you know, she's dead now. He sees her on the street and he stalks her all the way to her room. You know, I mean, just it's so romantic. You know,
Right.
and the way she acted about it and her hair and it's just it hits me. You know, I mean, that's just me.
That's
you know,
good.
and I put the film in. I don't want to give the whole story, but everything, you know, in Vertigo, you know, it's there. It's just like the movie, except for one thing. It's not there now. You know, you go somewhere, it's not there. You know, and we showed it in the film. You know, it's kind of a little twist. You know, and I want to give the story, but you know,
Right.
you,
I know. Yes.
you know,
yes,
right?
no,
You
I
know.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, don't give
Okay,
away
don't tell me. That's
you know,
good. Do you have one?
I have no idea.
All right. No, good. You have
Just
one.
saying one time.
Yes, mine was the Blues Brothers.
Oh,
the
nice.
music that was in it, and the adventure, and of course Aretha Franklin, her scene.
Oh, the respects.
Yeah, it was incredible. So to think, she was singing "Think."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that movie really moved me
Yeah.
to.
4 fried chickens and dry white toast. That's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you so much. One quick, in one sentence or less, you're one of the maestros of romance. What makes the best ingredients for the best romance?
I think that the chemistry's got to be there between the lead, the protagonist.
Okay.
You know, he and her. You know,
Uh-huh.
he and she. It's got to be there. The chemistry, you know, even though it's acting, but the chemistry on cinematically. If it's not believable, then it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Then-
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
At present, the human race is facing an existential crisis. The climate is changing fast and can lead to extinction. It is the greatest threat to life on Earth, climate change. What we do now and the next 10 years will significantly affect the future of life on Earth. Now, in a span of 100 years, indeed in the space of one human lifetime, extinction of life on Earth is a reality. It is the extinction of life on Earth if we don't take action now. We need a plan.
Hello.
A climate scientist from San Francisco has given a dire warning about climate change. He predicts the human race is headed toward a mass extinction.
I knew this was coming. Last year there was a Santa Cruz lightning complex wildfires that nearly burned everything around here. And this year, it's the sea eagles attack. We're headed towards abrupt extinction.
You're a scientist trying to save marine life, and I'm a scientist trying to discover how to extend the human life expectancy. Very nice.
We have to do something about this damn global warming.
Yeah. What kind of bird is it? It's a sea eagle.
I always knew that the birds are coming back to attack us again. So maybe they want to exterminate us before they are extinct. Global warming has driven them to extinction.
Like this, my love?
Absolutely.
The climate's changing, the earth is dying.
Is there anything we can do to fix it?
No. The birds are back to attack us.
Nothing new.
We better fix global warming, else the human race will end up like this whale skeleton.